Have you ever wondered what happens to this bottle of water after you are done with it and discard it in the recycling bin? This bottle of water is made of a plastic called PET, polyethylene terephthalate, has a 92% chance to end up in a landfill. Plastic waste is resulting in an ecological disaster displayed by microplastic particles polluting our water, streams, oceans, soils, and our food. Microplastics are created by the weathering and breakdown of plastic objects. Plastic waste management is a global challenge that needs to be addressed, and plastics should be integrated into a circular economy. Circular economy is a model of production and consumption which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, and recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. Circular economy is the ability of continuously reinserting waste in our economy, not one time, but in a permanent way. Now to the important research question. Can a bottle of water be recycled into another bottle of water? Currently, it can be done. To better understand the problem, we should understand how a bottle of water is manufactured. Water bottles are formed with a process called blow molding. The process starts with virgin plastic in the form of pellets. The pellets are melted using an injection molding machine and injected into a mold to create preforms. The preform is stretched into a mold using heat and pressure. The stretching ability of the plastic is essential for the success of the process. In contrast with metals that are formed of atoms, plastics are composed of very large molecular chains that can slip along each other at high temperature and form bonds at room temperature. Plastic loses their stretching ability with recycling. To better understand the challenge with recycling, we need to understand also how mechanical recycling is performed when attempting recycling water bottle. The bottles are shredded, then washed from any residual. The shredding process itself alters the material by making the molecular chain shorter. To help you visualize the problem, let's assume the following. The long molecular chain of plastic can be assimilated to a bunch of linguine pasta. When using a fork, you will always be grabbing a bunch of the linguine that are entangled with each other. When those linguine are shredded into small pieces, it becomes very hard to grab a bunch simultaneously. When recycled, the molecular chain becomes shorter and shorter. It becomes impossible to use the plastic to make another plastic bottle. At the College of Engineering and Computer Science at the University of Michigan-Dearborn, a group of faculty and students is joining the global effort in finding innovative solutions for recycling plastics and integrating them in a circular economical process. For such a complex problem, a multidisciplinary team of researchers is needed. Students and faculty are working together to solve this problem here at UM-Dearborn. The big idea we are currently implementing and testing is to heal the molecular chain back to their original length and use plastic in 3D printing. Sustainability Student Organization will be working with faculty on an awareness campaign to collect waste plastics on campus and recycle it into indoor and outdoor furniture that they design. Although it seems simple, it is one of the most challenging problems of our time. At the CECS, we are equipped with a state-of-the-art laboratory to rise to the challenge.
Project-based learning, or PBL, is a student-centered pedagogy that allows students to acquire deeper knowledge through active exploration of real-world problems. For the first time at the University of Michigan-Dearborn, an interdisciplinary project-based foundation course, the Nanomedicine, was introduced. No such offerings exist for undergraduate students in the state of Michigan. The course exposes students to an emerging field of medicine, It provides opportunities for students to work together and use nanotechnology to design therapeutic strategies for human disease within the realm of personalized medicine. Faculties from 4 disciplines, Dr. Kalyan Kondapalli from cell biology, Dr. Krisanu Bandopadhyaya from physical chemistry, Dr. Z. Elena Zhang from neurobiology, and myself from biophysics are involved in designing this interdisciplinary PBL course. The course is an extension of the research collaboration among the 4 of us to allow more students to explore the research conducted in individual labs relating to health and community. Most lab activities are conducted in our new nanomedicine laboratory. Students in Dr. Bandopadhyaya's lab learn synthesis and characterization of gold silica core cell nanostructures, what we call the nanoparticles. These nanoparticles are the future of medicine as they offer drug delivery targeting specially to diseased cells. These nanoparticles are directly used on cancer cells in Dr. Kondapalli's lab, where students delve into the nanoscale of biology and experience how personalized therapies are designed for cancer. Further, Dr. Zhang's lab evaluates the therapeutic effects of these nanoparticle drugs in the treatment of brain disorders by using preclinical animal models. Students in Dr. Tripathi's lab learn different imaging techniques and apply physics to explore the delivery through transportation of nanoparticles in cell by specialized proteins known as molecular motor proteins.
The nanomedicine course has been pretty unique among my other courses. As a freshman, I was pretty excited to take it because I didn't think I'd have access to anything nanoscience related until later in my college career. The professors did an excellent job highlighting the interdisciplinary aspects of nanomedicine and nanoscience by leveraging the creative collaboration between 4 unique professors. Ultimately, I feel that the class gave me inspiration for the future of nanomedicine and nanotechnology in general, as well as a fascinating inside look at the science behind it.
Nanomedicine is central to the research conducted in our labs and is the backbone of this PBL course. This interdisciplinary project-based nanomedicine course has significant potential to provide hand-on skills, research experience in interdisciplinary topics, and introduce new career opportunities available to students of the current generation. We are currently planning on introducing the next tier of courses to advance the training of students in this field. We greatly appreciate Associate Dean Dr. Marie Wong for her strong and continuous support to PBL nanomedicine.
Hello, my name is Nick Velicities. I'm with the College of Business, Finance, and Accounting. And today I'm going to walk you through, give you a little tour of the Bloomberg Finance Lab in the College of Business and have some slides or some areas that I'd like to cover that we work with our students on. The first one has to do with this slide. In the school we have a class. It's the portfolio class, the Student Managed Investment Fund, and we invest real funds. We got a total of $55,000 in donations, and we're up to, as you can see, about $65,000 so far in growth. These are some of the companies that we've invested in. You can see Eli Lilly, there's John Deere, Costco, Microsoft, and so forth. This particular chart is a chart of how we've performed, how we've done against our benchmark, which is the S&P 500. And the green indicates that we are outperforming the S&P 500. It's been a difficult year in 2022, as you all well know. I'm sure 2022 was the worst year we've had with equity markets since 2008. So while we didn't make a lot of money, in fact we lost about 11%, we didn't lose as much as the S&P 500, which lost about 12.3%. That's what this chart's showing over the past year. One of the areas that I work with students on that's important, and I'm going to expand this particular area, is supply chain. We can take a look at one of the companies that we look at. In this case, it's John Deere, and we can look at, using Bloomberg, how Bloomberg interfaces with the supply chain. Over here are the customers or the suppliers to Deere. These are John Deere's customers, and these are their competitors. So a key supplier for John Deere is Cummins and Fanuc. Over here you can see the customers that they have are Lowe's, Home Depot, Tractor Supply, and so forth. Some competitors are Kubota. And students use that and can drill down and look at other information. So if we wanted to take a look at Hyundai, for example, we can bring Hyundai up, and here's their supply chain and their connection. And students at a fingertip can pull that data and pull that information. Another area that's a little more subtle, but that we use in looking at companies, this is very interesting, is a world map. And this is a world map, and you can maybe see that this is the United States. Up and through here, here's Mexico. And these little lines are vessels. These are tankers, vessels all over the world. And if you click on a particular vessel, for example, I'll just click on this one. This will tell you something about it. This happens to be Pelican. It was last seen today at 12:03, just a little while ago. It tells you it's underway, it's using its engine, and it's a vessel, it's a chemical products tanker, and the beneficiary is American Petroleum. So students can look at these and make determinations if a particular company is going to get its supply, what's needed. If a particular vessel is floundering or is not able to port, then we may not look at that particular stock for that moment. Anyway, this is a very brief review. I hope that you enjoyed it, give you a feel for the Bloomberg. I appreciate your time and efforts, and thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Natalie Sampson, coming at you from the Department of Health and Human Services, where I study and teach about environmental health and justice. Today I'm going to talk to you about building capacity for environmental justice through action research. Action research because the goal is that research questions are addressed to inform policies, programs, land use decisions, advocacy initiatives. But what is environmental justice? Regardless of race, gender, country of origin, age, income, education, everyone deserves healthy places to live, work, play, learn, and pray. It is possible to have clean air, clean water, safe, accessible food, and waste management systems that do not overburden Black, Brown, Indigenous communities and poor communities. And we need to do better to ensure that throughout Michigan. If you live or work and play along this corridor, you are no stranger to environmental pollution. To the west is Cleveland Cliffs, the Dearborn Industrial Generator, and the Rouge Complex, among others. To the east is U.S. Steel, the water treatment plant, Carmouche Line, Marathon Oil Refinery, among other facilities. Trucks might barrel down your street, slag or pet coke might be stored nearby and filled with heavy metals. Between fugitive dust, odors, non-attainment, and violations for the Clean Air Act, the cumulative health impacts are real: cognitive, respiratory, cardiovascular, reproductive, and many others. This is also a region of Southeast Michigan with a relatively larger proportion of children under 5 years old, who are particularly vulnerable. As they breathe in more oxygen per unit of body weight than adults, they're also still developing or may have been affected prenatally. And if you or your nearby loved ones and neighbors are confronting cancer at concerning rates, you're often dismissed because there isn't statistical power to deem the pattern significant, or those latent effects show up in different ways and time frames across your life course. But here you are at the heart and soul of the Motor City, this major international trade location, and it's passing through your neighborhood. And you want to do something about it. But it turns out your regular civics lessons from kindergarten through 12th grade aren't likely going to help you navigate these issues, because this is what you run into. So you get a public notice for a new facility, and it reads, "Any such petition shall be based only on objections to the permit that were raised with reasonable specificity during the public comment period provided for in this notice, unless the petitioner demonstrates that it was impracticable to raise such objections within such period, or unless the grounds for such objection arose after such period." Good luck making sense of that. And if you're lucky, there might be information about pollutants or health. Often there's not. It could say something like this: total permitted emissions will increase by 15.9 tons per year, particulate matter smaller than 10 microns, 16.2, particulate matter 57.6, carbon monoxide, total permitted emissions will decrease by 8, and so forth. These are excerpts from a national public decision-making process, documents, public notices, that signal this process isn't for residents, even those who live fence line and will live with the decision outcomes. So this is where environmental health research to action, also known as ERA, comes into play. All of this work is with environmental sociologist Carmel Price and many, many students, community, academic, and agency partners. Together, we run and evaluate youth programs and curriculum that build skills to understand environmental health science and help students and young people navigate complex policy structures with data and their own stories. We also support community-centered science, sometimes referred to as citizen science, by partnering with those who are developing community air monitoring networks and monitoring local watersheds. This helps to identify gaps in our agency protections. And we collaborate with students and agencies to examine barriers to public participation, increasing plain language, what you did not see, in those documents as a matter of environmental justice. At the core of this action research are partnerships and much support. I can't begin to name all of the mentors, collaborators, teachers, researchers who step up to engage and make this possible. We are all standing on the shoulders of giants who've been tackling environmental racism for decades. We're always inviting folks to come learn more with us, and you can go to our website posted here. Thank you.